Hi guys, welcome to my tutorial about animated menu hamburger button with pure CSS. I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna create a div which will contain the container. It will be a container for the menu buttons, and then I'm gonna create another div which will be our button. For example, I'm gonna name it as menu button 1, and then I'm going to put an input just to check if the button is clicked or not, and then I'm going to use an unordered list and 3 list items. Okay. You can also name it as like this. Make it the work pretty simple. Okay. Okay, makes the work pretty much simple. So I'm gonna start with this CSS. There's no JS needed, right? So yeah, at the start I'll be using HTML body. I'll remove all the default margin and paddings in the page, present in the page, and then I'll put the width 100% and height as 100% just to fit the screen. And then I'm gonna use the container class, and the container class I wanted it to be placed in the center of the page, so I'll position it as relative. Okay, sorry for the typing mistake. Aside from the typos, and then I'm going to place it as top as 50% so that it places in the middle. Okay, left as 50% so it comes in the center. Okay, small typo, sorry. And then I want the width to be as fit content, and then I want it to be, it doesn't appear to be the center of the page, because if you notice, if this is the container, okay, I'm gonna show you border 1px solid red. Okay, so this point is the center of the page, so I want actually the center part to be at the center of the page, so I'm gonna use a transform. So I'm gonna use the translate function, 50% minus 50%. okay, so the center of gravity is over here, see. Alright, so I'm going to remove the border right now. Now in this case I want to put a box shadow just to differentiate it from the rest of the page. Okay, box shadow as horizontal as 0, vertical as 0, and then 5px, 2px as opacity and other things, okay, just to shade the color. And then I want the color to be not completely black with a little bit of opacity. This is the hex form of RGBA alpha. 4 5 is alpha values for X. And then I want the box border radius, it'll just smoothen those curves if you notice. Okay, I'm gonna use it as 10px, so it'll smooth. See, I hope you can see. And then I'm going to use a little padding just to have a little space, so I'm going to use it as 30px. okay, and then I'll go onto the button. Now I want the, so this is a selector. I'm going to use a selector which selects all the classes with starting with menu button. So this is the regex, so it basically does is checks the starting. So if I was to use this dollar, it would be the ending values. So I'm going to use the starting. So if the classes start with menu button, so its position property should be relative, and then I want it to be that way. And then okay, I'm gonna continue now. I'm gonna copy and paste so that I can continue with the other part. Okay, I'm gonna go to the input. Okay, for this checkbox, I want it to be completely big, fitting the button, right, so that the user can select anywhere near the button, anywhere across the button. So height is 100%. Okay, I want it properly, so position as absolute. So what it does is like it positions itself at absolutely with respect to the last previous relative value. Okay, so as you can see this, and then I'll continue on with the next part. So I want it to be a little transparent, so I'll set the opacity property as 0. I want it to be opaque, fully transparent. Okay, and I want the menu button to be of size. Okay, I want to have the menu button of the size 30px and height is 30px. Okay, so I'm going to continue on. So I want the unordered list. On the unordered list to be having no padding at all, and as you can see the list has disks at the beginning of every list item. So I want the list style type as none, and in place of that I want to put it as like class menu button, and put the list item as 100% width. Okay, small typos, forgive me for that. And then I'm gonna use the background color as black. Okay, and then I want to have a little padding so that it will be visible. Okay, so I'm going to use 2px padding, so it's now, as you can see, it's visible, but I want to have a little margin between them, so I'm going to use 5px. So now I hope you can see the hamburger button. Here you go. So but in this, as you can see, it's a slightly derailed from its original center position, so I want to put all the horizontal value 0. Okay, now as you can see the hamburger button is completely centerized. And now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use the class menu button. I'm gonna set it in a fashion like where if the input is checked, now this is a pseudo class which sets itself on when the checkbox gets selected or checked. Okay, so I'm going to use the next element ul unordered list and list items to be opacity 0 when if the input is checked. This is for just debug purpose. Okay, as you can see it disappeared and then okay it reappeared. Yeah, so now I'm ready to begin with it. So moving on to the animation part. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to its according to its position. So I'm going to name it as 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so child 1, so this will be selecting its first child. Okay, so now when I do this, what I'll do is like when I selected, the first child will get disappeared. Okay, see, disappears, reappears, disappears, reappears. So in this case, what I want is, I don't want it to be disappearing, I want it to have a little transformation. Transform, sorry for the typos. Transform, I want to rotate that particular thing. I want to rotate it as 45 degrees. Okay, so if I select this, it's rotated 45 degrees and I click it. Okay, and but then what I wanted is to translate a bit low, and then so translate y, so translate y minus 50%. Okay, so what do you see? Okay, maybe some error. Okay, but sorry, that was 50%, but 50% wasn't enough, so I'm gonna use 150%. Nah, not working. 50%. Okay, not working either. So I'm gonna use different, completely translating it as, like, since it is rotating at an angle of 45 degree. So what I'm gonna do is like 10px, 5px, just for checking. Okay, I want the top part to be a bit like this. Okay, now not enough. I'm going to do it as 6, 5. Okay, this is cool. Now I want it to be centralized as 8px. Now 7, 6. Okay, just checking it. And so 5px, 5px. So what I'll do next is I copy this, I'll paste, I'll put the last child and I'll rotate it as minus 45 degrees, and I'll use the okay, cool. So now all I want is to have a little change, like I wanted to go a little top. Okay, that was too much. It seems fine. Okay, now 7 seems fine. I'm going to use 7 over here too, so it appears to be at a close button type, and I want this to have to disappear 0, and I want the width to have 150%. Okay, use this as child 2. Okay, now I want to smoothen the transition, so I'm going to use the transition property and I'm going to ease it at 0.5 seconds and all. Okay, so now as you can see, if I select it, okay, so this is what you see, right? Okay, but as you can see, this is just changing the width, so I don't want that. I want to scale in X, so I'm going to use as transform scale X as 2. So now you can see, so when I do, okay, cool. So here we go, the button. So this is just the tutorial for one button. So if you want to make different types of buttons like this, so you can choose whatever you want. So so in this case you might want to choose you can copy this and then paste and paste again, I'm gonna use 3, and this is 2. Okay, so now you have 3 buttons. Okay, 3 buttons function exactly similarly, but they're different buttons. And then now we want to have different animations and different sizes and different shapes. So for the first one, I'm going to change the first shape of it a little different. Okay, so the first shape, what I'm going to do is for the class menu button 1, I'm going to change the shape of unordered list items as for the first, I'm going to use it as child 1. I'm going to change the width as 80%. Okay, so I want to have like, okay, I want this to have 100% width, so I'm going to set that. Okay, now that I'm done with that, so I want the second child and the third child for the first menu button to have different sizes. So I want this to be having I want this to have 60, and then that's 80, and this is as 40. So the button will probably look as this. Okay, it's loading up. It's a little slow. Sorry. Okay, so this is how my first button looks. And then if I want to change a second button, I'm going to use as 2, 2, 2. So if you want the second button to be centerized, I'm going to use the button class menu button 2 and reposition it using margin. So I'm going to use it as 5px and auto. So what auto will do is like it'll automatically manage all the side borders, vertical borders and horizontal borders of it. So horizontal border is set as 5px and vertical margin is set as 5px and horizontal margin is set as auto. So over here these buttons don't look really nice right now, so what I want to do is like I want to decrease the padding a little bit, so I'm going to use it as minus 1.5. so as you can see the thickness changes. So for next thing that I want to do is like I want to put the buttons in a single line. So what I want to do is like I'll use the property display. So I want to put it as inline block, so it'll make the buttons in a complete line. So on a case this buttons are not perfectly aligned, so because the unordered lists have a little bit of margin, so I want to decrease the margin, so I want to put it on margin as 0. So now as you can see the buttons are perfectly aligned, and I want to have a little margin between the buttons, so I'm going to have a little margin as 5px. Okay, 5px is pretty less. 15px and 15px horizontal and vertical as 0. Yeah, this seems pretty nice. Okay, better. Okay, this is okay. So what I want to do is like have this buttons a little bit of border, so border as 2px solid black. See, as you can see this is the buttons, but I want to have a little bit of padding, so I'm going to use padding as 5px. Okay, now the buttons look cool. I want to have a little border, I want to like curve the area, curve the buttons a little bit, so I'm gonna use as 5px border radius. So it looks pretty decent now. So for making them proper and cool, I want to change the color of the body. I want to put the background color as teal, but I want the container to have a background of white. Okay, so as you can see, here are your buttons. You can change the animation as you like, but there's still a bug over here that I want the buttons to change my cursor when I hover on them. So I want to change the cursor as a pointer when it hovers on them, and I want to have the Z index set as 2, and therefore now you can, when you hover on them, you can get a perfect click and perfectly working button. You can change the animations depending on what you put over here. Over here input checked when it is checked, so I'm gonna put a line. So you can obviously change the animations that you want according to your wish. So I use a pretty decent and simple one. So thank you for watching. I'll be uploading a few more videos in the future, so stay tuned, subscribe, like and share. Thank you.